Welcome, you guys. I have lots of awesome footage to share on this one. We're taking a look at the August 2024 super blue moon there. And so up till now, most of everything I've captured has always been on my phone. And so I want to go over some of the settings I've used because I've recently gone into a new method of recording and I've captured some stuff that's just blowing away what I previously had. So if your images tend to look like this when you take a picture of the moon, we're going to go over some of those settings, and those settings also apply to the way I adjust to capture different aircraft. So this all started because we had this trip planned to Taos, New Mexico for the 888 Lionsgate portal, and it was the week before it just kind of popped up and we were off to go. I just went with my daughter Gabby and my son Zeke, and the three of us went to meet up with Carrie in Taos, New Mexico. So it was just for a couple of days for the sole purpose of seeing what we could capture. So we got to Carrie's, we came up with a game plan that we do some sightseeing. We went to the ski resort. Of course, it's closed right now, but we walked around and took some pictures. It was pretty cool. We went to the ashram and just kind of enjoyed the time there. So we got back to Carrie's, and the sky was full of clouds. And Eileen and I have talked before about being avid cloud busters. So we all went to work, and I want to say it was within 30 minutes or something. Um, the sky began to clear up, and there's the beautiful skies over Taos, New Mexico, and you can actually see the Milky Way beginning to show up between the clouds there. Amazing. So I wanted to talk about how to adjust the camera to take a picture like that and to fix your moon pictures so they look more like this. So I can help out on Android, and it works kind of the same on iPhone, but you're going to basically open your camera, go to the More option, and then go up to Pro mode. Just click on Pro. And that will open up all of these settings along the bottom right here. And you're really wanting to focus, the main ones you're wanting to focus on are the focus. You want to put it on manual. The speed, the shutter speed. I like to put it around 10. And then once you have that set to 10, then you can sort of adjust your ISO to be as bright as you need it to be, but as low as possible to reduce the effects of some of the noise. So it gets kind of noisy and grainy if you turn the ISO too high. So by leaving the shutter open for 10 seconds, not only does it let more light in, it allows you to drop the ISO. But you also want to go into your camera settings by clicking the little gear at the top. And go down to shooting methods. When you click that, you want to turn on your voice commands. That way you can say smile, cheese, capture, shoot, and it will automatically take a picture. Because when you leave the shutter open, if you tap the screen to take a picture, it may actually move the screen a little bit. So doing this method, you'll be able to, just even set the phone on a picnic table with it facing up towards the sky and just say cheese or shoot and take a picture. And this is some of what you get when you take pictures. These give you the ability, with the shutter being open, to see if anything's moving. And here we have 2 satellites moving across the sky that we may have missed if we had just been kind of looking up at the sky. But the 10 seconds of capture time makes that appear. And it makes things move. Here is a plane that just happens to be going across the sky. And if you look really close, you can even see the red flashing light. Those are the dots between the 2 white lines. So sometimes you'll just see a dotted line in the sky. Here's one of a plane going by, and I remember the first time I captured one of these, I thought for sure I'd capture it like the side of a mothership. or something, but that's just an airplane going by, and as it's moving, it's flashing. But that leads me to my best capture ever, and it's this image right here. And like I was saying with the voice commands, if you try to take a picture with your finger and you tap the screen, you're going to cause this blurry effect. Now you see these J-shaped stars. These are actually stationary. It's just when I tap the screen, it caused this shape. So what we're focusing on is actually the straight line that heads right through the image right here, heading this direction for 10 seconds. So this was an object while I was taking a picture and the shutter was open that was moving, and it flashed, and this is real time. This arrow is moving for 10 seconds. It flashed, and then the picture came to an end. Now, after reviewing the images, I noticed that one of the flashes were actually the craft illuminating. Check this out. This is why this is my favorite picture I've ever captured myself, because this is 100% some sort of craft that illuminated itself. And, there you have it. So that really brings us to this point now, because now I'm using night vision. Now, I use these, but I cover the light so that it's not illuminating bugs and things like that. When I turn on night vision mode there, you can see it's shining out this light. This light is actually invisible to me. I can't actually see it when I look at it. It just looks kind of red. But that attracts bugs. So to utilize this where I'm not filming bugs flying in front of the camera a lot, I came up, found this cap that fits right over the end of there. So I put it on there, and now it's blocking out the light. We also utilized a FLIR camera, a thermal imaging camera. So I'm going to show a little bit of footage of that. But first, Gabby captured the first orb, the first cool thing of the visit there. And so I want to start with that. It was the only orb we captured. And look at this. Look how bright that is. It just came right in. And then when we were using the thermal imaging, I had Gabby go out in the yard, and it looked like she had two beings, at least one being, sometimes three beings standing beside her. It's amazing. You can judge for yourself if it's just her aura, but it almost seems like you can see an individual there. So I added the green. It comes black and white when you're using the night vision, but this was the first night I got out in Tulsa, and I looked up, I'm like, look at all the stars, and then this happens. What the heck was that? Look at that. Now, I'm going to get into this later about what this is, but this is just the beginning of the amazing captures that I got. Here we have another object. It's like you can't see this stuff with your naked eye. So on this one, I'm watching the satellite go across, and then I see something zip by the other direction. You can kind of see it there zipping by. It's really faint. But I was just continuing. I didn't even see it until I reviewed it. I was just watching this satellite here, and after reviewing it, I saw it zip by. But something else zips by. There we go. And I do catch it in the screen. I'm like, what was that? So I try to follow it, and I move over, and something else is zipping by. Can you believe this? So I'm watching, I'm like, man, is that a fast-moving satellite? And then guess what? It changes directions. It changes directions. Let's take a look at it again. That's one of the ways it's, at least not a satellite, is that it changes directions. And I was just moving it straight down. I didn't even see it had gone that direction until later on. That's why I just kept moving the camera down. I was just trying to, it's so hard to see on these little screens. And when you get to be my age, you really need reading glasses on. So I've been having you can see that's slightly out of focus probably, but I've been having to put, my glasses on to make sure I have it focused, because it's not auto-focused, which is a good thing, because bugs or birds and things that are up close to the camera are really blurry, so you can tell that they're not really far up in the sky. What is that? Let's look again. Wow, look at these. What are these? Now, I would normally think they're shooting stars, because you don't normally get to really check them out too much. But here's another one where if I see what I think might be a satellite going across the sky, I'll watch it. Because sometimes if they're a ship, they'll like power up. They'll give you a little show, and you can speak telepathically to them. But this one never did power up, so I'm going to scooch it forward because look at what pops down on the left over here. Coming down on the left. Look at this bright star. And at the time, I thought it actually powered up a few times. And if you look really closely, let me speed it up, and you can tell that it actually does. It flashes twice. Watch it here. When it gets to these two spots, it pulsates and gets brighter. I'm not sure if it's a satellite or not. I didn't have my tracker on checking it when I captured all of this. I just wasn't expecting it. Look at this. What is that? I would have thought it was just a quick shooting star, but I don't think so anymore. After looking at these and examining just how even things are, I've also been getting these little sparks. Check these things out. They're just, it's a whole separate phenomenon. You'll just be looking, you'll see something flash, you'll look. This is the first time I've ever caught it. I always think, maybe my eyes are flipping out, but here we have another nice, even, what I think is a craft. Here we have another strange arc in the sky. Now this lasted for one frame, so I'm just playing it back and forth to get an idea, but look at this. What the heck is this appearing in the sky? Now, I don't know, maybe it's a glitch with the camera. That's the only thing I can think of that if it's not in the sky, but I have seen flashes before. It's just so hard. Now look at this one. It looks like it's taking off away from the planet. Looks like it's shooting away. A lot of them will have that look, like more like they're going away than coming to you. Here's another one of these glitch flashes. I don't know. Does anybody else have any kind of night optics? Is this something that you'll just get these anomalies or whatever? So I'm keeping an eye on it, but I have seen flashes like that in the sky before. In fact, for a while I'd come out at night and look up and I'd see a flash, and you like normally wait to see if it's an airplane, like you wait for another flash or whatever. Here's something else moving quickly across the sky that I didn't capture. It didn't look like it was illuminated. We were actually just looking at it, the movement of it. There's a bug. You can see just how blurry bugs are. Bugs are extremely blurry. And we can rule out planes for a lot of these because you can see how the night optics actually amplify the flash of the lights on the airplane. So no mistaking that. Look at this. I didn't even catch that as I was recording it. A lot of these I don't see in real time unless they're super bright. It's like later on I'm looking at the footage and I notice it. And there, that bright star we have up there is Vega and Lyra. And I was just looking up there, and then I finally noticed this and started following it. And one of the things I look for, because I think I shift it maybe a little bit, so if you turn it will make it appear as if it changed directions, but it does look like it appears to change directions a few times, and I'm not sure that it's me doing that every time. So not really sure. I've like sort of moved to the point now where I am keeping my satellite tracker out and trying not to point it anywhere there's a satellite, just to see what kind of stuff I get. Because I know the bright ones that look like shooting stars aren't. These, I think, might be satellites, but I was keeping an eye on them because they look like they were kind of heading towards each other. This one was probably visible to the naked eye. Most of these are not when you look up. So I'm going to speed this up here. This continues on. It never powers up or does anything. It just kind of disappears behind the clouds. Okay, look at this one. This is a bird. Look how obvious that is that it's a bird and it's flopping around and pretty blurry. So birds are pretty blurry, especially if they're like lower flying. Check this out. What is this? Moving really fast across. There's no way that's a satellite. Satellites don't move that fast. So you catch some of these smaller objects that aren't illuminated. There's a pair of them. Look at that. Watch again. Two of them flying side by side that I didn't notice until after the fact. Here's another one of those spark things. What the heck is that? Now, this is probably the best footage that I have. Keep an eye on the top right corner here. Look at that. What is that? It's running back and forth here. Because I feel like this might be what we're watching when we see what looks like the shooting stars just moving at a slower speed. I think this is one of those cigar-shaped craft. So that's the highlight. And when we see things like this, I think that's these cigar-shaped craft taking off really fast, perhaps. I'm not really sure. I'd love to hear what you guys think it is in the comments below. Love to hear your opinions. And if you see these things, here's another one that just doesn't look like a shooting star. It looks like a craft. So let's look at some actual things I tracked down. Starlink came through the area, and it's supposed to be like a train of these satellites, but they were so spread out. And one of the downsides to these night vision camera I have is that this is as wide as it zooms out. It's kind of always zoomed in a little bit.
Bring the light down to the darkest place. Let it shine out. Let it radiate. Bring the light down to the darkest place.
And now we're looking at the International Space Station. Check this out. Both the Starlink satellites and the International Space Station are in low Earth orbit, so they're not as far away. So they appear brighter and they move faster across the sky. So as I was saying, this is pretty much where I'm at with my investigating into all these incredible phenomena I've been seeing in the sky. Is that I'm going to start tracking the satellites, trying not to look anywhere that the ISS, Starlink, or the satellites are, and try to capture some more of these other ones. Because when you do a CE5 event and it seems like you're focusing to make contact, they show up, for me anyway, more like these shooting stars where they go really fast. So just in case you guys don't know, there's the International Space Station, the ISS, and on board right now are 2 American astronauts, Butch and Sonny. They are actually stranded on the International Space Station, so we want to send our love and positive vibes up there their way. They've been up there since June. They were supposed to be up for 8 days, and it looks like it might be for 8 months. So hopefully they can turn that into a fun, positive adventure. And while they're looking down at our peaceful Earth, smiling and waving down at Earth, we're waving back, sending some positive vibes their way. So we'll watch them cruise to the horizon.
Bring the light down to the darkest place. Let it shine out. Let it radiate. Bring the light down to the darkest place. Let it shine out.
But yeah, this was so amazing that I just wanted to share it and maybe encourage you all to start looking up more, because there is so much more happening in the skies today and so many more distractions to keep you from looking. So lots of love, light, and unity. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.